It is back to work at Queen's Park today with the election of the House Speaker, the first bit of business on the agenda. All 124 newly elected MPPs will converge on the legislature for the very first time since last month's election, in which the Doug Ford PCs were swept into a majority win. 4 people are in the running to be Speaker, and once that person has been selected, MPPs will break until tomorrow's throne speech. Dart Inside's political watcher John Wright will be joining us in the 7 o'clock hour. That's to discuss what's ahead for the PCs. And we have a live look now at the legislature, which will be busy later on this morning. MPPs will be back here on Monday to start the actual summer session. It's not expected to last more than just a few weeks. Now, the Ford PCs seem to have their top 3 priorities ahead of the upcoming summer session at Queen's Park. Scrapping cap and trade is one, canceling a wind turbine project, and ending the York University strike. And one thing not on the immediate agenda is changing the controversial sex education curriculum. The hot-button election issue deals with teaching children about gender identity and sexual orientation. Some hardline conservatives wanted it dumped, saying it's too controversial. And some parents we spoke with yesterday want the sex ed curriculum to be taught as is.
The kids should learn about it, you know. Children should know about it. Like, they're going to learn from outside anyways. There's so much stuff on the internet, so it's better if they learn it in school.
Obviously, it's dangerous. The only reason that we need to, the biggest reason we need to talk about things is to talk about consent. And I know that that has been included, I believe, in a lot of the sex education information that was included.
In general, I believe in education, and more the schools teach the children, the better for the children.
A spokesperson for the Premier says the government is committed to respecting parents and will install a new curriculum based on consultation with parents. Some provincial Indigenous leaders are upset, though. The Ministry of Education abruptly canceled the session set aside to update the school curriculum. The curriculum was going to be updated to include the findings of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. The commission took a hard look at the province's residential school system. The Ford government canceled those sessions when they clamped down on travel expenses and spending across the public service. Well, DNA from a second missing woman in Durham has been found inside an Oshawa home where partial remains of a murdered 18-year-old were discovered last year. Police were back on scene earlier this week at the home on McMillan Drive. They believe they found DNA belonging to 18-year-old Candace Fitzpatrick, who hasn't been seen in a decade. The partial remains of another Oshawa teen, 18-year-old Rory Hache, were discovered in December. The basement's tenant, 45-year-old Adam Strong, was arrested. Hache's mother says she's outraged murder charges haven't yet to be laid.
It's the worst feeling in the world. It's the worst feeling in the world because you almost feel like Rory's being minimized. Sick things happen, and I can't explain it. I can't explain why my girl. Bad things happen.
Strong is facing charges of improper and indecent interference with a dead body. Hache's torso was found floating in the Oshawa Harbor last September. The transport truck driver charged in a crash that killed 16 people on the Humboldt Broncos junior hockey team bus has been released on bail for $1,000. 29-year-old Jaskarit Sidhu from Calgary is charged with 16 counts of dangerous driving causing death and 13 counts of dangerous driving causing bodily injury. The father of 18-year-old Evan Thomas says that he had one goal in court yesterday, and that was to face the man accused of killing his child.
I think I caught his eye once, and in case this goes to a plea bargain, at least he can put my face to it. So that's all I wanted to accomplish today, was to hopefully see him face to face, and if in case this never goes to trial, then he's seen my face. So.
Sidhu was not hurt in the crash, which happened as the hockey team was headed to a playoff game on April 6th. The RCMP says they will not be releasing any details from the investigation or what they believe happened. The 12 boys and the coach successfully rescued from a flooded cave in Thailand are still recovering in hospital, but take a look at the reaction of their classmates, who are thrilled that they're all safe. Well, students at the school gathered for a celebration ceremony after the last members of the Wild Boars soccer team were rescued yesterday. The 13-member team were trapped for 18 days after they ventured into the cave and heavy rain caused flooding that trapped them. They were brought to safety in a high-risk rescue effort that actually cost the life of one of their rescuers last week. 6:09 here on BT. We'll send it down to Frank and Winston.